Welcome to Adventures with Your Teacher.
Hi, I'm Miss Furman.
And I'm Miss James.
And today we are broadcasting live from Felicita County Park.
So exciting. What a beautiful day it is. We cannot wait to tell you what we learned about. We learned about ecosystems, specifically decomposers.
Ooh, and who did we meet along the way?
I don't know. Who?
We met...
Drum roll.
Mushrooms!
Oh my goodness, mushrooms are decomposers. Okay, Miss Furman, let's talk a little bit about where we are today. What do you see?
I see trees all around, and I believe there are a bunch of willow trees because they grow by creeks, and we are right next to a lovely little creek with rocks all around it.
Oh yes, so if you hear a little babbling brook in the background, that's because that's exactly where we are. Have a listen. So soothing.
Nothing like a babbling brook early in the morning to start your day.
Oh yes, it is earlier in the morning. And this is the second time we've been here, right?
It absolutely is. And I've noticed a little difference from the first time and the second time we've been here.
Big changes, and it's only been a week.
1 week. So ecosystems can really change depending on weather, environment, people, animals.
And now it's time for the most important part of our podcast, the interview with our mushrooms.
Yay! I'm waving to you all. If only everyone could see how lovely these mushrooms look.
Miss Furman, were you able to get the mic set up next to the mushroom so we'll be able to hear them?
Let's test it. Can you hear? All right. Will you say something for us real quick? Testing. Hello? Hello? Yeah, this is me, Mushroom.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mushroom. Now, we have some questions for you. Miss Furman's going to ask the first one.
Yes. We really want to know what kind of mushroom you are, because you do look a little different than the last time we saw you. Where was the last time you saw me? We saw you about a week ago, and you kind of were beige with white dots, and you had a darker round spot on the top of you. And today you kind of look, how would you describe it, Miss James?
Almost burnt.
Yeah. And so we want to make sure you're doing okay, and we really just can't identify you anymore. Well, that's a great question. Around here they call me Fred, but I've never really thought about what kind of mushroom I am. I just know I like living here.
One of the names that popped up while we were researching you was lead poisoner for the type of mushroom. Yeah, seriously, lead poisoner. And so that kind of brought us on an interesting point, because at the same time, some of the mushrooms that we researched that looked just like you said they were delicious and edible and totally great to eat, but then lead poisoner was highly poisonous. You could even get sick just from touching it. So we wanted to let you all know out there in podcast land that if you see a mushroom that you're not sure what kind of mushroom it is, you should not eat it. What do you have to say about that, Miss Furman?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you should even touch a mushroom unless you are 100% certain. And a lot of people spend a lot of time identifying these mushrooms. And even if you think you know, you could be seriously wrong. And you do not want to take a risk like that.
Mushroom, did you know that about yourself?
Oh, no. You probably should stay away from me. But I do really like the name Lead Poisoner. It might give me some cool points around here if you called me that.
Oh, sure, no problem. We can call you that. Okay, that brings us to our next question. What is your favorite place to grow?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I really like growing where it's moist and dark and damp. And I picked this spot nestled in between this willow tree because I thought it was dying. And I really like to settle down on dead stuff because I'm a decomposer. And it's really nice over here. Oh, sorry for that cough. I get a little, puppy allergies right now.
Oh, does that have something to do with the fact that you look so different from before? It was a very hot week. You said you liked cool, moist areas, and all this week was so hot. It must have been so difficult for you.
Yeah, to come to think of it, I haven't been feeling too well, and my brothers and my sisters were not doing too good. Do you think this is the end for us?
I don't think it's the end. I think it's just the beginning. Remember, you're a decomposer. So every time you grow, you're growing on something to help it decompose. For those of you who don't know, decomposing is the way the ecosystem takes care of things that have died. And a lot of times they come back as new things. For example, Fred, did you know that you release spores into the air and those spores reseed into new mushrooms?
It's lead poisoner now, honey.
You got it. Lead poisoner. Did you know that?
Well, you know what? I never thought about that. I've got a really beautiful thing I'm doing here, and it makes me happy that I'm spreading life and spreading joy all around.
Not only did you help to decompose this tree, but now you're going to help to create brand new decomposers to help decompose more things.
Wow!
And keep our forest clean.
I'm so happy right now.
You're a major part of this ecosystem.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. You really made my day.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful for you and what you do for the environment.
Yeah, Fred, lead poisoner. You really helped us learn a lot, and I hope we educated our listeners today and taught you a little something and made you feel a little bit happy about how cool mushrooms are. Thank you so much for listening to us today. We hope you enjoyed it. Signing off, I'm Miss Furman.
And I'm Miss James, and this has been Adventures with Your Teacher. Thanks for listening to this episode of Adventures with Your Teacher. The episode Decomposers was inspired by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 15. This goal is all about protecting and restoring ecosystems and preventing biodiversity loss. Decomposers are a big part of our ecosystem and are important to understand. We need your help to prevent the loss of biodiversity in our ecosystems. You can do this in a few ways. You can recycle, pick up after yourself, and educate yourself on animals and plants in our ecosystem threatened with extinction. Those are just a few simple ways to help with the Sustainable Development Goal. There are many more. Another really simple way to help protect our ecosystem is by staying on the trails when visiting parks and preserves. Thanks again for listening, and have fun exploring.